Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to maximise your team members' appraisals by planning what you want to get out of them. 10 essential questions that you need to ask yourself in the planning, and you need to be brutally honest with yourself. Are your team members fit and strong enough to support you in the business? If not, what's the plan? How are you going to develop them? How are you going to improve them? Or do we have to have other conversations with people? Question number 2, succession planning. What would you do if your best person left? Oh my goodness, I can't even think of the thought of it. It would drive me mad. Well, it could be a real reality. So you need to know how your people think about their jobs. Is there a huge skills gap, experience gap? What do you need to do to plug it? How are you going to bring your other people up to the level of your best people? Question number 3, who does your team represent? And are they true value for money? People say to me, oh, they represent themselves, the company, the business, the department. No, they represent you. So obviously you need good people around you. You cannot do everything. Number 4, bit tongue-in-cheek, but it's got an important part to it. If it was your money, would you employ your team? If you had to get out your bank card once a month and pay your people, would you? Would you want to, or would you sort of resent it? If you really wouldn't pay them the salary and you don't think they're worth it, okay, so we need to have other conversations. And we have to look at other processes to enable them to depart the organisation. Sounds harsh, but that's what management is about. If people aren't able and capable of doing the job, you've got to deal with the situation. Number 5 is now the chance to finally start delegating and letting go of tasks. It may be that you want to develop yourself and get more involved in whatever your manager and directors are getting involved in. But you can't do if you're bogged down in the day-to-day things. So appraisal is a really good time to think, right, I'm going to now delegate certain activities and certain tasks. I'm going to get people trained up and it's going to become their responsibility. Make a plan. If you don't, who's going to do it for you? Number 6, one of my favourite questions that I ask all managers, especially at start of leadership and management programs or even coaching sessions. Would you want to work with you? Okay, now perhaps it's the chance to finally get some feedback. Now if you just sit there and say, what do you think of me as your manager? Yeah, great, fine. So start asking perhaps some other questions. Start asking about, do you feel I give you enough information? Do you feel I give you enough feedback? Do you feel you're well informed about what's happening? How do you think we work as a team? So there's other questions you can ask to get people talking, and then when you've built that good enough relationship with people, you can be honest. Okay, question number 7. This sort of 4 questions in one. There's 4 things you need to know about your people. We've already said, what do they think of you? So that's the first one. What do they think of you? You need to understand that. What do they think of their job? What do they think of their career? And what do they think of the business? If you understand the answer to those 4 questions, you can develop and motivate people in the right areas. This is really important in terms of understanding the makeup of your team and what truly motivates your people and how long you're likely to have with them. So should your best person leave, these are the types of questions you should have had. It should never be a shock when someone hands their notice in. Remember, appraisals are about conversations, not the paperwork. So number 8 isn't really a question, it's more of a challenge. Challenge your people. Challenge your people and make their appraisal their responsibility. Set them some challenges in terms of perhaps a presentation of what they've learned and what they need to learn, how they've adapted to change, or perhaps projects they've been involved in. Be creative with this. And you need to facilitate the appraisal process by making it their responsibility. Get them very well informed of what the whole process is about and what is expected of them prior to the meetings. Give them at least 2 weeks notice and challenge them. Challenge them to think and build awareness and take responsibility for their actions. So number 9, how do you help good performers to keep performing well? Quite often we're only ever focused on giving feedback to people who've not performed, which we should be doing all the time, but also we should be giving feedback to people who are performing well to build their awareness and responsibility. I want my people to be confident and competent. And we need to develop people that way. So if they're good, let them know that they're good and let them understand why they're good. Now number 10, go and look in the mirror and ask yourself this question. Are you tolerating poor performers? Is it now time to think back some of those early questions, to really go and have a think and am I tolerating poor performers and what's my plan? Am I carrying people or is the team carrying people? Because these people actually expect you to have a chat with them. Your team members expect you to have a chat with them. And the business expects you to have a chat with poor performers. You can't tolerate poor performance because remember, they represent you. There's 10 questions there. We're going to put them in the link below, and you may like to sort of take a copy of those. And next time you're doing your appraisals, really sit down and challenge yourself and be brutally honest. Now this video is in a short series of other videos about developing appraisals and how to conduct them, why we have them, and also how to manage your own appraisal. Please like, subscribe, and if there's any questions on any of these, please do get in contact.